Jim Harbaugh in just a second, but first, a little Monday Night Football action. Bears, Redskins, Khalil Mack making headaches for everyone named Gruden.
You rarely see. Oh, great line, Jen. I didn't think about that. He got both Gruden brothers. Great Statue of Liberty play run by Case Keenum there. Unfortunately, was to the outside linebacker for the Chicago Bears. That doesn't work. Mack was a monster again.
Yeah, Coach Pagano's got that Bears defense playing lights out. If they can just, do they have a quarterback, Nick?
On this play, they did.
Here we go. Taylor Gabriel pulling off an unreal toe tap. It was ruled incomplete. It was then overturned, and this was a touchdown.
Look at that. Just the scraping the pylon makes it a touchdown.
They had me on this one. Me and Austin sitting around watching the game. I was like, oh, man, Austin, that's out because his hand came off the ball. It's almost like the Des Bryant where the catch starts all over. But they were like, no, when it was in his right hand, he still had control. Nice catch.
Austin was like, see, I told you. Next, Washington's.
He didn't say that. He don't like to say that around his stepdaddy. He probably told his buddies when he later on. Dude, think he
Terry McLaurin rises to make a tough catch across the middle for the touchdown. Who, Nick?
Terry McLaurin, I'll be honest, I'm not very familiar with his work. However, Chris Carter was. Chris Carter on the old Fox Bet app told America bet him at plus 250 to score a touchdown. And I'll be damned, I didn't know Washington was going to score any touchdowns. They did. Terry McLaurin had it. Ohio State product, catching bunch touchdowns from Dwayne Haskins in the past, right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe some in the...
By the way, from Indianapolis, a 3-star recruit. We developed him. He didn't start at Ohio State. That's how bad we developed him. Now he's starting in the league.
A little CFL action. Eskimos taking on Tiger Cats. This is Edmonton's Greg Ellingson holding on. Nice touchdown.
Now, this is the Wes Welker. This is the Julian Edelman of the CFL. Dude's had a nice career. Good little athlete, plays in the slot. Yeah, Nick.
I want to tell the audience something real quick. Chris's son plays in the CFL. Chris
and my nephew is a wide receiver.
Chris watches a lot of CFL football. Chris is not just saying this because it's a white dude wearing number 82 doing these things. It's because of how he plays.
Yeah, his nickname in high school was White Lightning. For real.
For real? I think he made that up.
On to Jim Harbaugh.
Any white dude fast, his
White
nickname.
Lightning.
White Lightning.
Yeah, no problem. I got it.
On to Jim Harbaugh and the Michigan Wolverines on Saturday. They suffered a 35-14 loss to Wisconsin. Wasn't even that close. At one point, Wisconsin was leading 35-0. Naturally, a lot of questions for Harbaugh following that loss. Here's what he had to say to the media yesterday.
You know, really from A to Z, it wasn't good enough, and you know, not acceptable. So starts really with not acceptable for me. We didn't play physical enough. We were out hustled. Yeah, I put that. I take responsibility for that. In any ways that you know, we were out schemed. Also take responsibility. That's it's my job to make sure that we're completely sound. Not a day we're proud of.
So, in short, every single thing that went wrong, he's going to admit to it being his fault. How hot is the seat for Jim Harbaugh right now, CC?
I think as far as the national media, it's a talking point. But the people in Michigan, the people making the decisions, the athletic director, I don't believe that he's taking applications. No, I believe he has a lot of confidence in Harbaugh. The board of trustees, these people, the board of regents, these are the people that make these decisions. No. Michigan, this is what they signed up for. When you go back and grab a coach who's had success in the NFL and he's an alumni of your university, you are stuck for a certain period of time. Now it's a matter of how long we're going to be stuck in this predicament we're in. Now, because right now, what is Harbaugh known for? You guys think he's a top 5 recruiter in the country? He's not. You think he's a motivator? Look at his press conference. He's not. How can you have 100 college kids and they play without emotion? Man, college football, it's all emotion. So the kids aren't responding to what he's teaching. How can you be out-schemed by Wisconsin? You know what they're going to do. They got 8 fat boys, and they're going to lean on you, and they got a little tailback that they're going to run. The same thing they've been doing the last 20 years. So when you're at a school and you get out-physicaled by Wisconsin, they have better athletes than you, and we know you got good prospects because we see the ratings every year, the recruits you're getting, and we watch the NFL draft. You still got kids that are playing on Sunday, high draft picks, drafted first day, on rounds 1, round 2, and round 3. So this is a Harbaugh problem. But for me, the thing that is the most troubling is, from an offensive innovation standpoint, he's given up the play calling duties. But when he was in San Francisco, he was known for physical offensive line play, the pistol formation he brought from Nevada, developing a quarterback, and these unbalanced lines. He does none of that at Michigan. So for me, he's a guy that doesn't have any type of identity, let alone the team not have an identity. What is Harbaugh great at right now? He's not calling plays. Their recruiting is not the best. And they're not going to be physical. So for me, I'm a little lost. But we got a petition in Columbus, Ohio. We're petitioning to give him an extension. We need to keep him. He's got free hospital services. We want to keep him alive and breathing so Ryan Day can pile up some of those wins that our guy Urban piled up against him.
This has been a disaster. And I was...
Why are you so sad, man?
Because I don't like
You would think you would have went to school there or something.
I just don't like being wrong. And if the reason this is a little personal for me is my first time ever filling in for one Colin Cowherd years ago when I was first getting on television. I said very triumphantly and defiantly that if you don't tell me if you're coaching high school, college, or pro, you're just going to go coach football, and I can have my #1 pick of anybody in the world, I'll take Jim Harbaugh.
For the next 10 years.
For the next 10 years.
So you had a little age in there.
I had a little age in there.
And Belichick and them. Like,
but I saw him succeed at Stanford, where no one had succeeded. Now David Shaw has succeeded at an even higher level. I saw him succeed at San Francisco. But now in the NFL, his brother was clearly the better coach then and now. And at the time, he had gotten to Michigan, and it looked like he was this close because they were this close, remember, to beating Ohio State, that 4th down game they ended up losing. Now you look back and you say, what is his best win at Michigan? It's a loss. It's when they came this close to beating Ohio State.
Yep.
Since he's been at Michigan, this is 8th year, they are the only Power 5 school to not win a game as an underdog. Now, they're not underdogs that often, so they don't have as many opportunities, but to have never won a game as an underdog, to have never beaten your rival, to in your last 3 games against Power 5 schools, Ohio State, Florida, and Wisconsin, be outscored 138-68, to need overtime to beat Army, to be out of 130 teams, 97th in offense, 97th in rushing, 99th in passing efficiency, 119th in turnover margin. Joel Klatt said something during the game that I thought Joel, and Joel's never wrong about this stuff, I thought he had to be wrong. It was early in the Wisconsin game. He said this is their 9th fumble of the year. I was like, it's their 9th quarter of the year. Right. They've had 9 fumbles. And part of that is coaching. You know who doesn't fumble the ball a lot? Alabama. You know who doesn't fumble the ball a lot? Well-coached teams. I don't know where it went wrong for Harbaugh, because I do think he got the most out of those Niner teams. I do think he got the most out of those Stanford teams.
No doubt.
But this has been awful. I mean, awful. 40-15 at Michigan during, if we're being honest, a bit of a downtime in the Big Ten, aside from Ohio State's extended run of excellence, is unacceptable.
I know that he recruits the players, but how much of it is the players, the personnel, and how much of it is the coaching and what he's doing on Saturdays?
Jenna, this is the big difference between college and pro. On Saturday, college, it's the coach's fault. Especially when you're at a big school, a Power 5 conference, a national recruiting base, an alumni base, resources that are unlimited, unmatched. No, it's the coach. You have to be able to blame it on the coach. And if the players weren't getting drafted, if they weren't being all Big Ten, if they weren't 5- and 4-star recruits, then you could particularly look. But it's college. Typically, the blame goes to the coach. Jim Harbaugh has no one to blame. Now he's not calling plays, so what are you doing? Are you just a lead recruiter? You managing the game again? Like, they need to find some type of identity. And to me, when you can't develop a quarterback, and you are a former quarterback, that to me was a bigger indictment than losing the games when you're an underdog, or he's 1-6 against ranked opponents on the road. At some point, you got to win on the road, and at some point, you got to beat a ranked team.
You got to get a signature win. You got to beat your rival, or get a signature win, or win all the games you're supposed to. You're doing none of the above. At Michigan. At Michigan, with the name of Jim Harbaugh, listen, I was just wrong on him, and it's just
in Michigan they got beautiful facilities, they got great uniforms, they're a Jordan brand team, but Jim Harbaugh and them khakis, It's not playing well with these young kids. Like he thought it was. It was cute when he was showing up at midnight, sitting down playing video games with kids. But it's not playing well.
All right, we got to take a break. Coming up.
But I'm happy.
Wait, remember when Case Keenum was my guy? Got a new guy, Kyle Allen. Can he steal Cam Newton's job?
Shocker.
That's next on First
Who'd have
Things
seen
First.
this coming?
Yeah,
Jenna likes Cam Newton.